whoa, whoa, let's fix this. We're going live. Fix your, oh my gosh, fix your hair. Oh my gosh.
Talk about myself.
Oh, dude, hold on one sec. It's just not going to work tonight. Yo, what up, YouTube fam? We are chilling. Huh?
Back it.
Oh my gosh. Let me put this right
I'm
here.
gonna grab some chopsticks.
Oh my gosh, there's chapstick right here, I think. She's probably going to go like put makeup on and stuff.
No, I show up real rough.
She doesn't mind rap. Oh yeah. All right. So the title of this is arguing. We arguing. We're not really arguing right now, but I just want to talk about arguing because last night
we deleted a clip.
And it wasn't us arguing. It was after we had this, like, real talk. We had a disagreement on something. And I was like going to put it in there, but the flow of that vlog didn't permit. It was a funner vlog, and I didn't keep it in there. But I've been talking to some friends, and we're older than some of our friends, and sometimes, and we're honest. Sometimes I get asked about marriage and stuff like that, and all that to say that we never ever want to come across like we have it all together. However, we've been married 12 years. A lot of people, yeah, and a half, and like 3/4. A lot of people will say, "Oh my God, the first year of marriage is tough. The first year of marriage is tough." And for us, it was like the first 3 years of marriage. It was tough, and still, there was, still arguments and things after that. But in this video, I just want to talk to you a little bit about arguing. How do you get better and all that stuff? But before we do that, the reason we're doing live right now is I was looking for my adapter to put my memory card and edit, and couldn't find it. I didn't want to stress about it. Sarah is not loving the live. She thinks I'm crazy. However, did you hear on YouTube yesterday, we were watching Phil DeFranco or somebody, and they were talking about going live is really good. Remember the Facebook people said, going live is good.
Do you guys like live videos? Let us know in the comments, because I don't think you do, but he thinks you do. So we're arguing about, do you want us to go live or not? Just kidding. That's not
but here's the thing. The girls love it, and the those that show it, because it push notifications to the people that ring the bell or whatever. So if you're not ringing the bell, subscribing, getting those notifications, then you're not going to see these. So always make sure to push those notifications. You get notified when we go live, and you get notified when we publish a new video. But we won't do these all the time. Maybe some Q&As and some impromptu type stuff. But the girls love these, and they have great conversations. Like, oh my gosh, I want to talk to the people today. They feel it's a little bit more interactive, and they feel more connected. And so Sarah, see, I love the live videos. Boom, Simba from The Lion King, because we can interact with you guys.
Layla said too that she liked it.
So I'm winning right now. Anyway, so the first 3 years of our marriage, and we want to encourage, some folks, when we say with a little bit of you, a little bit of us, we can change the world. Like we really believe, man, that that happy families, is really, really important. Good parents, good people in the world today, just makes it more positive, man. And we want to leave a little bit of positivity on this earth for our girls, man, and your kids, and if you are a kid. So want you guys or you in your future to have a good marriage. And so for the first 3 years of our marriage, it was really, really rough. And here's the thing I was talking to a friend about today. Here's the 2 most important things, in my opinion, that I've learned. One thing is, we never, ever will disrespect each other in public. We'll never like embarrass the other person, or we will, even if we're so upset with the other person, we'll never ever like, we know people, we've been around married couples that it's like, oh my gosh, like she just totally disrespected him.
But
or
have we slipped up and messed up before?
You have, yes.
No, he has.
No,
I can name the date and time and place and who was there.
Please.
But we have, that's the goal. Always.
That's the goal is
we have messed up in that area.
We have messed up, but, I think we have an understanding that it's not, in public, and not to say that we're faking it, but we have to make sure to be, to have those disagreements in private. And then the next thing I think I've learned is we have to have respect for each other, because once you lose trust and respect, it's really, really tough. And so, even if we have a heated discussion and say things that trigger each other, making sure that we don't cross the line to say things that we really is going to really disrespect the other person. So those are two really, really important things. And we've had to learn those in our first few years of marriage. And what ended up happening for us was we started going to a new church. We moved cities. Sometimes you have to move out of your environment. I remember I stopped hanging around the guys that I was in high school with and started hanging around the guys I was going to church with. Same type of ghetto kids. That's how I found her. Same type of ghetto kids, but we just love Jesus. And so we started hanging around different people, and that's how I changed my life, and I met this girl. If I was hanging around the same knuckleheads doing the same things, the dumb things, I would have never met Sarah. And so thank God for that. So, just like that with our marriage, we moved cities. We went to a new church, and we spent time with couples that were about 3 to 10 years older than us, 4 couples, the Finceways, the Sanchez, Howards, and CJ, my best friend CJ and Jackie. There's 4 families that we spent time with, we hung out with, we planned with, we helped launch this little campus for this church.
But they had super healthy marriages, and it was helpful for us to see oh, that's how to be, be around that.
And it was cool because for me, they were all at some level of success. They were successful people. And so you're man, not only do they have it together, but they're going somewhere in life. And it was a really, really big thing for us. So let me back up. Me and Sarah come from different type of households. I come from a very dysfunctional family, and, we didn't know any better, we just jacked up. And Sarah came with, my in-laws are the most amazing, God-fearing people you ever meet. My mother-in-law is amazing. My father-in-law works with does stuff with young kids, Royal Rangers and stuff. And so good people. And so she had a model of a really good marriage. And so when we got married, it was she's man, this is not what my parents have. And so it was really weird for 3 years. And what we came down to was communication and seeing these people that we spent a lot of time with, really trying to learn. And we're still on a daily basis learning how to talk to each other. What was something that you started to see by hanging around, those folks?
Hanging around them, just seeing how they were successful, in 10 years into their marriage.
Yeah.
Being brave enough to actually talk to my mom about marriage, because me and my mom have always been close.
Yeah.
But I got to the point where I was oh my gosh, what's happening to Alejandro and I? Because we were arguing often, and I was finally Mom, this is happening, and you and Dad never argue. And she was Sarah, we argued often too, but we just never did it in front of the kids.
Yeah.
So that's another huge thing that we do.
Yeah.
We do not argue in front of our kids.
No.
Sometimes we're frustrated or do that, but Alejandro will just look at me or I'll look at him. We're they're right there, or they're listening, or they can hear us, and so we just shut it down and don't argue in front of them, because they are seeing how we are in marriage. And so it's important to show 2 girls how I should treat respect my husband, and it's important for them to see their dad, how they're going to look for a husband one day, even though that's crazy because they're 10 and 8 years old, but it's important for them to see us have healthy marriage so they can want that later too.
Trust me, it's a learned behavior. They're going to learn. They were learning, I use my hands a lot, and when I get frustrated I use my hands, and when I'm happy I use my hands a lot. So Bella, you can see when she's a little frustrated, she starts using her hands and gets all excited and stuff, and so man, just being able to communicate and talk to each other has been really, really important, and not arguing in front of them or waiting a little bit, and encouraging each other, calling each other out, hey man, you got to be careful in front of them, or you got to watch, and not having the ego or pride I know I can have sometimes, where it's oh, I'm not going to listen to you. You know what I mean? I could talk however I want in front of my kids or whatever it is, but going you know what, Sarah is basically reprimanding me, if you will, or correcting me, and going, hey, we can argue about whatever we want. at the right time, but let's not do it in front of the kids. And that's been a really, really big thing. And one of the other big things is like, I think we do a lot of what we do and we get out of a lot of arguments and we prevent a lot of arguments by not being selfish and actually realizing that the better that we are together, the better the future of our kids' destiny is going to be. Like, I really, really believe that. Like, I understand, like, this is the mother of my kids, and the way that I treat them, the way that I treat Sarah, that is going to be the way that they find a husband, like, want a husband. If I treat her like garbage and crap, they're going to think that is love is okay to get treated like garbage and crap. I know family members that's what they were taught, and so they expect that. Their expectations are low. And so and then for Sarah, for the girls, like if Sarah treats me bad, or whatever, they're going to talk to me different, and they're going to talk a certain way to their husbands. And so, I don't know, we're really passionate about this stuff. I read a lot about psychology and study a lot about human behavior and stuff. And a lot of stuff that I learned, I didn't think they would pick up, like, the learned behavior from us so fast. And there's some things where we've failed them in I want to say, like, they're good kids. But there's areas where, like, man, I think I missed the mark. And, hopefully you can correct those things. But man.
I've just seen, like, also, like, talking about, oh, this is what we want to do, this is how we are, this is what we do. There's times where we absolutely 100% mess up. So we have to, like, be humble, get, like, off our little high horse and just be like, hey, Belle, today I was kind of frustrated with your dad, and I'm sorry that I was talking that. I've like made a point to be like, I love your dad, he's such a good husband, but I just got a little dramatic, and I'll, like, make it light. But to just let her know, like, hey, what you heard, me, like, tripping that your dad didn't wash the counters after he cleaned all the dishes. Like, I do dumb things like that sometimes. So I have to remember, like, be like, oh my gosh, your dad cleaned all the dishes, but he just didn't, like, not point out what he didn't do what he did. So, or there's times that I've gotten so frustrated with, like, Sadie and something that she's done, and, like, later been like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't have, like, blown up like that.
Yeah.
So I have to just be like, hey, Sadie, mommy was just a little frustrated. Like, do those kinds of
things. And we've said sorry to the girls, we made a mistake.
Do it better next time.
And here's the thing, like, it's okay to say sorry, and your kids aren't looking for perfection. Well, I've said sorry. It's like, listen, I've got to do it better. That's not the way we talk to you. That's not the way we do this. Yeah. We don't believe in that. And Daddy made a big. Is that okay? Like, Daddy's gonna make mistakes, because and so we don't want them to feel like they have to be perfect. That they're gonna make mistakes, and making choices and decisions. Sometimes they're gonna be I want them to take risks too. One other thing I Sarah was mentioning, the way she was saying this was, I always joke with people, but I'm kind of serious, that I want to brainwash our kids in a sense of speaking truth to them, even if they don't know it's truth now. The more repetition of communication and the words that you say on a consistent basis. Simba, I'm going to get your question that you've asked 20 times. I'm going to get to it in a sec, I promise. But we want to brainwash our kids by, I always will tell them how amazing their mom is. And the reason I'm doing that now is because if I plant this seed in 10 years from now, when they're dealing with boys, they're going to go to Sarah. So I always say, Bella, Bella, your mom is like the smartest person. Or did you know that your mommy went to school and she got a degree? She traveled the world. And man, your mom is the smartest person. She's the smartest girl I've ever met. So if you ever have questions, like,
guys, really
go talk to her. She's really smart. But and Sarah, like, I've had to learn that with the books and stuff I've read, and I've had to kind of, Sarah, like, show me the love back a little bit, and she's done a lot.
That does not come to me naturally.
Yeah.
I 100%, you guys see me vlogging and, like, on the camera and, like, sometimes at Target, but I am not a super outgoing person. No. I shut down more than I do, like, talk, and I don't do well talking about feelings. It is very hard for me.
Yeah.
And guess what happens every time I talk about my feelings? I cry.
She cries.
And I get emotional. So I've had to, like, learn to get better at that, learn how to argue where it, like, makes sense, and, like, learn how to be like, okay, that's Alejandro's perspective, this is mine, but how are we going to move forward together? And, like, not be so emotional, because I just, like, shut down.
But you will like, dad, dad's awesome. Like, I am trying to brainwash my kids that the first person that they go to isn't a friend, or a friend's mom. Like, that would be terrible. And so, anytime, they have like, man, like someone said this and I don't know if it's right. Can I bounce it off my mom, or can I bounce it off my dad's? And one thing I teach the girls is like, there's gonna be things we talk about, and there's gonna be things you gotta talk to mommy about. And so trying to brainwash them, but cover them, really cover them, and influence them and model the words and the beliefs that they just hear those things bounce in their mind. And, me and my friend, talk about this a lot, but like building a tiny little apartment in my girls' brains that like they just hear the whispers. Like sometimes we hear the whisper of God speaking to us, and we know that voice. I want them to know our voice and know that, man, like, Bella, you got this. You could do this, Bella. Don't do that. Bella, come talk to us first. Like, we just want them to hear those whispers. But a lot of the arguing has been a lot less because I think we're putting our girls first. Sometimes we can't be so selfish that we think about ourselves, that we always have to be thinking about someone else, and it's affecting someone else. And so
I think the first few years of our marriage, I went into arguments like, I'm going to win this. Like, I am right.
Oh, me too. I was
I'm
usually
better.
right.
Like,
I was usually right.
Never.
I was right at least nine out of 10 times.
You can't go into the argument like, oh, I'm going to win. Like, you guys have to, like, with your couple, like, win together, So that's one of the biggest things, like, when we argue now, I'm just like, okay, this is my, like, really seeing, like, this is my perspective. What's yours?
Yeah.
Babe.
That's good. That's good. Anyway, so, we last night, we just talked about something we just like, sometimes you agree to disagree, but you still love each other. Sometimes you agree to disagree and not win. Sometimes you agree to disagree for the moment, and then like later on, you're like, yeah, we don't need to agree to disagree. Sarah was right, And so for me, Sarah was right. It's just, in another life, I think I would have like marched in the civil rights movement. I think another life, to me, social injustice, because I saw it so much growing up, and it's a lot of that stuff's happened to me, kind of stuff. Guys, I was like, the day before I got a really big job, I almost ended up in jail because a cop racially profiled me. And so I didn't make a big fuss or anything. I took it in the chin and was humble about it. But like, that's happened to me. And so there's a lot of injustices. And so for me, I'm like, I want what's right is right. And I'm going to make sure. And so Sarah's like, bro, like, you need to chill out. Like with other people, like, she's like, you need to chill out. Take it down a notch. Take a chill pill. But then there's times where Sarah's a little too chill on certain things. And it's like babe, what? I need you to... Oh, you want me to bring it up right now?
I mean, why not?
No, I'm not going to bring stuff up.
Somebody asked, or I saw this on here. Layla said, but do you think it's healthy to just a little bit, like, argue a little, not like yelling, but put things on the table? 100%. Because if you're not, it's not even like you're not arguing, but like there's something in your mind that's bothering you. So absolutely, like, say it and talk about it and like get through the mess, because sometimes it gets a little ugly and feelings happen. And I remember it was like a few months ago, like This Is Us happened, and I just started having all these feelings and I just wanted to talk about them. Yeah. It got pretty crazy. But I was like, if you don't like talk about it and argue through it, you're gonna end up like in a hole, like by yourself in your feelings and thinking about it. So arguing is healthy if you do it the like right way, for sure. For sure. And it's that, and I mean, if arguing is the right word, I think it's like being constructive versus destructive. Being constructive is like, hey, babe, we got to talk about something. And a lot of times arguing or working through things is the better word. Feels a lot like sandpaper. Sandpaper is very, imagine like wood. It's very, it's uncomfortable. It's awkward. But over time, there's a little bit of friction in order to make something smooth and better. And so whether it's constructive versus destructive, or like sandpaper, like you got to just work through some things with the end in mind, with the goal in mind, that
We're gonna smooth things out. We're gonna get better. I'm gonna be with her in 5 years. I'm gonna be with her next year. Let me treat her, and more importantly, than even treating her as Sadie and Bella's mom, you know, honoring her with who God gave me. Like, that is my duty, my responsibility is to God, and honoring God by making sure that I take care of her, her heart, her mind, soul, body, all that good stuff. So, you were gonna say something?
Forgot. It was kind of important. What was I gonna say? Oh, I know early in our marriage, a lot of people were like, "Do not go to sleep on your anger." So I had this thing when we were not arguing healthy in year 1 to 3 to 5 to 6 maybe.
And keep in mind, hold on, it wasn't toxic. No. It wasn't like so ugly, but it was just like
about really dumb stuff.
Like really dumb stuff.
But I would always think like, oh my gosh, we cannot go to sleep angry. Like, we're arguing right now, so wake up and like fix this. And he was like tired because he was working, I was working. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then I finally figured out like sometimes we just need to like walk away.
And sometimes she walks away for like a few days, but
like, I'm getting better at that for sure.
I'm like,
I
babe,
haven't done that for a while.
You haven't done that for a while. There was times where like it was like she didn't talk to me like for like 4 or 5 days. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just play a video game.
But like I always would think like, oh my gosh, we cannot go to sleep when we're mad. So we would like, then you're tired and it's dumb and you're arguing about really dumb stuff. And now I just figured out like the way that we can figure it out and better is sometimes just walk away and like literally go and pray about it a little bit and just breathe, take a drink of water, sleep. And just the next day I send Alejandro like text like, can we talk?
Yeah.
We just like, and then we're like more calm and nothing's heightened and nobody's freaking out. And
when I'm away from her arguing, I just know like I gotta pray, I gotta get my mind right, and so I think that's how like I don't know, we're totally far from perfect. I don't think anybody is, but I'm like really proud where we're at in our social communication. We can always improve upon it, but yeah.
And then so he said, how do you make videos when you guys are tired?
How do you make video when you guys are negative moment? We just started a family vlog and we encountered this. Here's the thing. How do you parent when you're pissed off at each other? Like, that's the question. Like, how do you parent? You put other people first. And so you guys are our community. Like, we're committed to continue to put content. And maybe Sarah's not in it a lot. Maybe I'm not in it a lot. Maybe
that's not why I'm not in the vlogs.
She's for sure. She's rarely in them. Yeah, she's
working and sleeping a lot.
She's
trying to, like get in the flow.
She's trying, and I think she's trying to like be the best nurse right now. And so someone mentioned posting the vlogs, during the day. I totally get that, and
we're totally related to being parents because there's times we've argued and it's like, are you gonna get the kids or am I? And like we have to
get the kids, or we're gonna vlog. Like it's like, and so
it helps to get over things. YouTube has helped us get over things. Isn't that crazy? Like
YouTube has brought us a lot closer together. And it's like, it's just kind of like, this is almost like a business for us at the same time. Like there's a level, because I'm a business guy. There's a level of like, you just gotta fight through this. You gotta push through this. You gotta show up still. So, you guys just started a YouTube channel. Congratulations. It's the best thing. Don't do it for money. Sorry.
I just want to say it's Meet the
Alphonses. I think that's how you say it. But congratulations, guys. Simba asked the question, how much money do you guys make on YouTube? Like it's like more like 4.2 million.
Oh my gosh, we have so much money.
So like we just bought 5 houses. YouTube's been great to us. We don't make a ton on YouTube, but we've had the opportunity. This is an opportunity for those that have channels. I see a few channels in here that we do brand deals. There's a video. If you just go to video influencers, type in video influencers in the YouTube search, and then Alejandro Reyes, and you can learn a little bit more about the money we've made in YouTube. But it talks about getting brand deals. So we make barely any money from views and subscribers. We do a lot of brand deals type stuff for the last couple of years, which has been amazing. So that's how I found your channel. Expose the Heart says that. How long have you guys been married for? It'll be 13 years in July, on July 1st. Any other couple questions you guys have about arguing, marriage, YouTube. We'll spend the next couple minutes hanging with you guys. I want to throw a shout out real quick to my boy Leg Life from Alaska. My boy, we met face to face at a conference a couple years ago, but I've known him for a while. He's been on my summit, and just another awesome dude, an awesome channel, Leg Life. Check them out. But if y'all have some questions, we'll get some questions to y'all. Layla's awesome. She's like on every live one. Virginia Estrada, what's up? Expose the Heart, Virginia, what's up?
Virginia was doing good
Lena, what's up, Lena?
So if you go to the comments,
yes,
look at Virginia
she's
Estrada's,
awesome.
because I loved the comments she was making. That's why I kept like trying to read as we were talking.
Yeah. Anyway, so quick family update. I'm like 97%.
No, 90.
Okay, 90%.
84.
You're 84. I'm 84. I'm 84 now.
I don't know. You're just like.
I think I'm like 90%. Bella skipped school yesterday because of that.
Sadie's good.
Sadie's fine.
Good.
Bella went to school today, but she still has a cough. No fever. Praise the Lord. And then, I think by tomorrow I should be good. But man, I remember on Monday and Friday on some calls last week too. My mind, I don't know. I couldn't think a certain part, but, need more pool calentito? What is pool? Pool? Pozole?
Pozole.
Oh, pozole, yes. See, you didn't make me pozole, girl. That's a great question, Lena. Fantastic question for everyone, because this is one that I suck at too, most of the time. How can I take criticism without getting my feelings hurt? Here's what I would say. If it's criticism from a family member or a boss or something, I'm always going to ask the question back to that person. And mainly, it's hard to do that with Sarah, but, from a business standpoint, what I may do, and so what I've learned from people like a counselor a long time ago is, so let's say Sarah says something like, I don't know, give me like criticism, but like, be nice. Just give me something like criticize me something.
Like Bella's a lot sometimes, and sometimes like it's hard to just like not get frustrated quickly because Bella asks 100 questions, and I love that she asks questions. But
so let's just say you said
let's just
say you're saying you're being a bad dad.
No, not bad dad.
Let's just say that. Let's just say that. That's criticism. Let's just say you're not being a great dad. Let's just say that.
Like you're getting frustrated too quickly.
But let's just go to the extreme. You're not being the best dad you could be. Mm-hmm. Some people could be like that. So for me, I may go back to Sarah and just say, hey, let me let you know what I'm hearing from you. You're telling me that I'm a bad dad. Like that's how I'm hearing it. She may go, that's not what I meant. What I meant was you are doing something like a bad dad. I should have phrased that differently. And so we're communicating, but I'm asking her and letting her know how I feel about it. So if you're at work and someone's like, dude, you're lazy, and then you ask, hey, I feel like I'm lazy. I'm putting a lot of work in, but what am I doing that's making you think I'm lazy? Well, it's not lazy. It's just like this one area you need to improve upon. And so I guess to answer your question about how do you take criticism, ask it back to the person. It's hard, but you got to ask the person, like, let me try to understand where you're coming from, because a lot of times people will say things that they're really, you guys see not eye to eye on it. So sometimes you got to take it in the chin, and maybe the criticism is warranted. Maybe that it is the right thing that you need to hear. Do
not take the criticism and like turn around and be like, well, you weren't a good mom.
Yeah, you weren't a good mom. You weren't a good boss. You weren't a good friend. Sometimes, I really appreciate, I worry about men because women are better at communication than guys, I believe. I really, really worry about guys that don't have other guys that can criticize them, that can call them out, that not only can encourage them and all those great things, which we need, but I have guys in my life, man. My friend CJ tells me all the times, like, bro, you've got the best friends in the whole wide world. Like, I've got some amazing friends that like keep it real with me. They're honest. They call me out, and you got to have that. So to answer your question, like, maybe the criticism's good for you, but if it really frustrates you, you need to ask that person, like, what exactly are you telling me right now? Because this is the way it's coming across. And I'm getting sensitive, and I don't want to, and I want to work on a relationship or whatever.
Or something you could do too, like let's say it's a criticism coming from your spouse, and that like frustrates you, or like, oh, it's too hurtful. take that in the chin and be like, hey, best friend, do you see this? Do you see me acting this way? Like, how can I get better? Because I feel like sometimes you can take that criticism from your friend better than your spouse sometimes.
100%.
It just doesn't hurt your feelings as much. But, like, this is like, oh, my God, I love him.
Yeah.
So just maybe try that.
For sure.
Don't take it too crazy.
Awesome.
It's been
criticism makes you grow.
And Ollie said we're going to do this for 2.
Yeah, I said 10. I love Crate. Ooh, Nova Scotia. Kate Wiggins. What's up, Kate? Laura, how you doing? Lena.
Laura Gonzalez.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, we love you. We appreciate you guys. You know, we're going to settle more into our new lives over here. Sarah's probably going to get back on that bandwagon of vlogging. She just got to figure things out. She's kind of was on like a probationary type period or whatever. And so, you know, just wants to make sure she does good, does some overtime and stuff. She did overtime twice this last week.
Also because I want to help.
Yeah, you're awesome. So anyways, but man, appreciate you guys. Thanks for the prayers. A lot of you guys have been praying for my health, Sadie's health a couple weeks ago when we went to the ER, and Bella's. But we really love y'all. We appreciate you guys. A lot of us being better, a lot of us not arguing and being better human beings is a direct result of you guys too. And so, you know, you're a family too, man. So anyways.
Good night. Sleep tight.
Don't let the backbiters bite.
Good night.
Good night.